So Katrina, I want to ask you about why Strengthening the Heart as a program is unique. And maybe a question to begin with is, how can we expand our capacity to be with the suffering of life and the cruelty of the world wholeheartedly, and to not close down?
I think it's very much about not turning away from suffering, our own or other people's, not turning away from even the evil and reprehensible behaviour that we see around us, but finding a way of opening to the difficulties of the world and kind of still mobilising within ourselves a field of warmth, a field of compassion, a deeper understanding of those difficulties rather than glossing over.
Yeah, thank you. My sense of how we've run this previously, the experience that I had was that it was a real sober view of life, and it wasn't glossing over things, as you said, and a real opening and challenging ourselves to expand in the face of the truly difficult parts of life, both within ourselves and the ways that we close our own hearts to ourselves, and also how we close to other people, people that are cruel or doing reprehensible things.
And I think to really open to those difficulties in life, we have to develop a more nuanced and expansive understanding of suffering, of the origins of our own behaviour and the behaviour of other people, and even of our own shadow, not the ability not to project that onto others, but to own it, but to hold it with kindness and with self-compassion.
So my name is Vadim. I'm one of the co-founders of Turning Ground and the program's lead there, and I'll be co-facilitating this program with Katrina.
Yeah, and my name's Katrina, and I am the director of the Centre for a Compassionate Society, and I'm a compassion cultivation teacher.
And so Strengthening the Heart will be bringing together the science and psychology of compassion. It will be offering practices from Tibetan Buddhism, including different forms of meditation and insight. And we'll be also delving into group processes and practices which will hopefully be really deeply connective and maybe even healing for some of you. Doing this together is extremely important. Facing the suffering and the cruelty of life on our own can be debilitating. But if we do it together, we can create a space where we really honour our pain for the world and have a container that lets us grow in the face of it rather than collapsing or falling into despair. And that feels like a very important part of this program is to hold each other as we delve into this kind of content.
And so the group processes and agreements very much create a safe container for people to connect more deeply with maybe difficult stuff within themselves and difficult stuff in the world.
One of the misconceptions is that it can be soft, but compassion can actually be fierce and quite powerful.
Yes, compassion can be very gritty. It can be, I often use the word expansive about it because it has that capacity to both see evil, suffering, bad behaviour, hold the complexity of that, and at times fiercely oppose or try to prevent the bad behaviour, to protect vulnerable parts of ourselves or vulnerable people, the vulnerable ecosphere, and that sometimes in order to demonstrate compassion we have to fiercely oppose behaviour, but that doesn't mean that we have to thereby judge or dehumanise the person whose behaviour we are opposing. We can be big enough, hence the word expansive, we can be big enough to accommodate the difficult paradox, the difficult truth of someone behaving badly but still being worthy of our compassion.
We're wanting to create a container where self-compassion can be cultivated as well. However, one of the unique things about the program is that we're not focusing solely on self-compassion, which can be quite common in these kinds of programs.
Yeah, it's very much woven in to the teaching and exploration around compassion for others. The assumption really is that as we develop compassion for others, we expand our circle of compassion to include difficult people, and sometimes we're one of the difficult people that we need to demonstrate compassion towards. So it's a little bit like, a sort of seamless approach. We don't focus on self-compassion now and compassion for others later. It's part of one movement. Yeah, so if you join us, I hope that you will find this program deeply enriching. It's hard to find places where you can actually connect with people on this level, around the truths of our lives that are difficult and complex and nuanced, and so I hope you will find that this is a very safe place to be present to the truth of your life, and including its difficulties.